Yeah, hi all. Very good morning. This is Rajsekhar Reddy Bolla. So, yeah, this training is about Azure SQL DBA. Uh, Totally, I'm having 10 years of experience into the SQL DBA development, performance tuning, and 4 years of experience into the Azure SQL DBA. Okay, so this is about myself. I'm in LinkedIn, also in Facebook. If you want to follow me, you can follow me. I use it to share the tips even about Azure and all. So you can follow me. Yeah. So about coming to the Azure SQL DBA. Okay. So we will discuss. We will discuss on infrastructure as a model, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay. So in
Yeah.
Azure, we have these three models.
Okay.
So in Azure, we have these three models: infrastructure as a model, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay. Depend on the model. Okay. The responsibilities are different. Okay. So we will discuss this one in detail. So yeah, these three models we are discussing, right? So the total topics are this many. Okay. There are 43 topics are there. So we will discuss these entire 43 topics in our trainings. Okay. So all the things are real time, guys. Even after each topic is over, we will discuss on interview questions, possible interview questions and all we will discuss. Even I will take mock interviews. Okay. At the end of the class and in middle of the class also, two mock interviews I can conduct and I can take. Okay. So yeah. Also, guys. So I'm author of this book, guys. In this COVID time, I wrote this book, Microsoft Azure SQL DBA interview questions and answers. This would be very helpful, okay, to crack the interviews and all, you know. So all the real-time scenarios mentioned here, all the scenario based, and important questions are highlighted like this. Okay, all the important questions are highlighted like this. So it's very simple to understand, guys. So no confusion and all. It's simple to understand. Even after the training also, if you have any doubts and all, if you have any doubts or in the future, if you are stuck with implementing of any feature, you can try to ask me. You can try to ping me in WhatsApp. Okay, I can also help you guys. Don't worry. Yeah. So yeah, 4 months I put effort writing of this book, guys. Yeah. Coming to our topics, guys. So there are total 43 topics. We will discuss on each topic. So coming to the Azure, so why this training? So right now, guys, cloud technology is hot cake, guys. So why people they want to move to the Azure is they just want to save the money about infrastructure and resources wise. You can save a lot of money, guys. Okay, more than 80% they can save the money if they move to the Azure. I will show you. I will show you practically how they can save the money and all. I will show you. So that is the main reason. So main reason why why projects, why the clients are looking for Azure is they just want to save the money. Yeah, obviously why projects are running for the why clients are why they are running the projects means just because the profits, right? They want the profits. So even if they move to the cloud also, they can save a lot of money. So even cloud also more security wise, more security has been implemented in the cloud as well. So a lot of misconceptions are there, but those are not real. So more security is available in the Azure as well. And why we need to learn this training is, yeah, we are seeing right nowadays in a resume without cloud technology or without Azure experience, it's tough to getting selected into the interviews. Yeah, that's the reason we also need to migrate into the Azure. Okay, we have to adapt to the current technologies. That was the main reason why we need to learn the uh, cloud, Azure SQL DB. So why Azure? Why not AWS? Means, yeah, this is Azure is a Microsoft product. Azure is a Microsoft product, and comparatively AWS, okay, Azure is 50% cheaper. Comparatively AWS, Azure is 50% cheaper, and in Azure we have lot of free tools. No? Like if you compare with SQL Server with Oracle, SQL Server having the lot of free tools, right? Like Azure also, we have some free tools you can utilize. Yeah. So future is on cloud is within 2-3 years, every project will be moved to the completely to the cloud. You know, so that is the expectation. So even in the last week also, I got the one offer. See, so 27.5 lakhs I got this. See, effective from okay. So why I am showing this one is, yeah, we have a lot of uh, uh, very good packages are they are offering into the cloud side, and all. Even I don't have 10 years of experience. Okay, in 2 months I will complete 10 years. Even I haven't. I mean, 10 years of experience. See how I'm the packages and all. So if you learn also, you will get the, I mean, very good package, and you will reach whatever the position you are looking, you will reach those positions very easily. Yeah, let's go to our topics, guys. So what is IAS model, what is PAS model, and what is software as a model, we will discuss. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so Azure, in the entire Azure, okay, we will discuss on infrastructure as a model, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay, so without cloud, so we use it to without cloud. This is the on-premise. Okay, so this is the on-premise. Uh, right now, I mean, without cloud, people use it to manage on-premise like this. Means everything you have to manage. So if you want to build a SQL server, first you need to build the Windows. Huh? And yeah, before Windows also, you need to buy the CPU, memory, network, all these things you need to buy, and you need to buy the Windows license, you need to install, and yeah, related to Windows, you need to set it up AD, domain domain accounts and all, they have to set it up, and after that SQL server we have to install, and after that we have to set it up some settings related to our load and all. So these are the things. So it would take at least 7 to 14 days, 2 weeks it will take to build a SQL server in on-premise. But if you see in Azure, even in Azure, if you want to build a SQL server or a database, within 2 minutes you can create a SQL server and database. In PaaS model, I mean in this Azure model, you can create a within 2 minutes you can create the database, and you can use that database. And if you don't want, just delete that server and database. They won't charge you. Whenever they use, whenever you use, that time only they will charge. Remaining times, they won't charge us. That is the flexibility we have in Azure. You know, in Azure, we have cheaper, very cheaper comparatively on-premise. So in on-premise, if you buy all this license, tomorrow if you don't use, it's all wasted, right? Money got wasted and all. So that's the reason, for small scale projects and all, medium scale businesses and all, if they go, it's easy for them, it's easy for them. Even I can ask, even I can also start a company, even I can also start a project. I can keep my own databases into the Azure, because this Azure is cheapest. For small scale companies, it's not easy to buy the on-premise hardware and licenses and resources. See, here in on-premise, you have to um, hire the Windows admin, you have to hire the network admin, you have to hire the Azure SQL DBA, And Azure DBA also, these guys, they need to work 24/7, right? We don't know when the server or service will going to down and all, we don't know. So in Azure, we don't have that kind of situation. Okay. So let me tell me about myself, So earlier, I worked in Azure infrastructure model only, but along with me, so there are 10 people. Okay, total 11 people we worked on this SQL server. Now I am the only guy who is working. I am the only guy who is working. Current company. Okay, I am the only guy who is working, who maintaining all the servers and all the SQL server related. I am the only guy. I am the only guy taking care of, because yeah, there are few things are there in Azure. You need to, there are some extra roles are there in Azure. There are some other roles you don't need to maintain and all, backups and all, everything will be taken by the Azure itself. Okay. So yeah, yes, even, this Azure, even a lot of resources are also not required, in Azure. So, but the thing is, along with Azure, better to learn development and performance tuning as well, because your job is permanent. Okay, you don't need to worry about the changes in the future and all. You don't need to worry if you learn SQL DBA, Azure, performance tuning and development. Okay. Yeah, let's coming to this topic. So what is infrastructure as a model? What is a platform as a service? What is software as a service? Let me tell you in simple diagram. Okay, suppose I have a on-premise database. Okay, here is on-premise database. Let's suppose this is a 2 GB database. Okay, to build this on-premise database, so you need to buy the license, Windows license, SQL license, and the CPU memory. You have to buy all these things. So it would cost around 3 lakhs. Okay. Uh, it would cost around minimum 3 lakhs it would cost in on-premise. Suppose 2 GBs, the same 2 GB, if I want to go for PaaS model. Okay, in this PaaS model, single database model. Okay. So if I go this single database model, or if I migrate this 2 GB database to the single database model, it would cost only 300 rupees. Where is 3 lakhs? Where is 300 rupees? That much money you can save. Just because I'm going to the Azure means it's not performance wise, it's not bad. It's not worst. It is good only. Okay. Even if you want to more performance, you can increase. You can increase CPU memory whenever you want. That much flexibility we have here. We'll discuss in detail. Don't worry. So what I'm saying here, guys, so the same 2 GB, if you are maintaining here in a single database model, it would cost only 300 rupees. Okay. But here, okay, in this PaaS model, again, we have 3 types, guys. So in Azure, these 3 models, right? So people will look for mostly on platform as a service, because platform as a service, it saves a lot of money. Okay. In this platform as a service, again, we have 3 models: single database model, elastic pool model, and managed instance. Okay. So these two, single database model and elastic pool model, both are same. Okay. A small difference between two. Okay. So database side and all, both are same. Related to hardware, a bit difference. Related to hardware, a bit difference, guys. Okay. Both are same. Hmm? We'll discuss in detail. No, don't worry. So in this model, in this single database model, yeah. So there are, in this single database model, we have some limitations. Okay, we have some limitations, like you cannot do cross queries. Means there is a data of one database. That database data you cannot retrieve from the another database, even though you are in the same server. Okay, so that is the limitation over here. So what is cross query is, let me tell you. Okay, suppose select star from, I am running a query in on-premise, guys. Okay, so adventure works dot dbo dot person. So there is no dbo schema. Yeah, person dot address. Okay, so this is the see where I am in. I am in master database. Okay, so if I run this query, I will get the data. But in Azure, okay, you cannot get the data of other database data. You cannot get to another database. Okay, so these cross queries. So I cannot retrieve the data in single database model. Okay, so the idea is the applications. Okay, if you have the so your application, if uh, it won't contain the cross queries and all, in that case you can move to the single database model. Okay, so your application or your database doesn't contain the any cross queries and all, you can safely move it to the single database model. Okay, so your application doesn't work, I mean, your application having the cross queries and all. In that case, okay, you can make it as a, you can remove the cross queries and all. Okay, you can remove the cross queries and you can make it to one database. Suppose your application using 2-3 databases. Okay, in on-premise, your application is using 2-3 databases. In that case, what you need to do is 2-3 databases you can merge into one database. Okay, just 2-3 databases you can merge into database and test test the application. Suppose guys, in single database model, what I am saying guys, there are three databases, something like that. Your application is connecting 2-3 databases and the data retrieving insert, maybe you may have the cross queries and all. In that case, you can merge all these 3 databases into one database. Either you can keep the same schema or you can keep different 3 schemas, and this data you can move it to here, and this data schema you can move it to here, and this database you can move it to here. So and test the application here, I mean connect the application where here. Once your application is working fine, then in that case you can move to the single database model. Okay, so in this single database model, the limitation is cross queries will not work. So to make cross queries will work, you need to change some architectural changes is required. Okay, you can change the databases and you can all these 3 databases you can merge into one database. Uh, After merging, your application is working, then you can migrate into the Azure. This way it will work. That's okay. You cannot merge all these 3 databases into one database. That's okay, no problem. Okay, so um, you can migrate into another option, managed instance. In this managed instance, cross queries will work 100% almost equal to the on-premise. Okay, so cross queries will work here, guys. So the people why they don't choose this one is because cross queries won't work here. So your application cross queries works means then you will be, I mean you will be on this model, you know. So if this won't be possible, then you need to move it to the managed instance. In this managed instance, they will charge around 70,000 per month. They will charge around 70,000. So obviously the cost is more managed instance because here everything it would work here. Okay, so it is almost 100% equal to the on-premise. Even here, you know, cross queries will work. uh, DB mail will work, linked server it will work, SQL agent also here. But in this single database model, we do not have SQL agent, we do not have linked server, we do not have DB mail. Cross queries are not work here. It won't work. But we have other alternatives. Okay, we have other alternatives here. Um, so because of these limitations, you want to do, if any, whatever I am saying, the limitations, right? You want those must and should, then you can go for managed instance. Okay, here almost 100%, 100%, which is 100% equal to the on-premise, almost. Okay, not completely, almost. Here you can keep maximum 8 terabytes databases and all. You know, so if you want to like exactly like on-premise, then go for infrastructure as a model. Okay, in this pass model, we call it as a pass model, guys. In this pass model, and this is IAS model. So like in the diagram also, right? So say this is infrastructure as a model, this is pass model. In this pass model, we have three types. Okay, the same thing I showed here. So this is pass model. Okay, in this pass model is nothing but you cannot do RDP. You cannot log in into the Windows. You don't have the Windows. Only if you want to connect to the SQL server, you need to connect to the through Management Studio. Pass model always, okay, will be on the highest version. Highest version it would be. Okay, today is 2019. Tomorrow 2020. Okay, automatically it get upgraded. You don't need to apply any patches and all. Even patches also, Microsoft team will be taking care in this pass model. Okay, so suppose your application only work, your application only work on 2012, only work on 2014, only work on 2016. If you have that kind of limitations, then managed instance won't work. Then you need to go for infrastructure as a model. In this infrastructure as a model, they just give the OS. Okay, they just give the OS. Remaining things we have to take care. We have to install the SQL server. We have to, everything like SQL DB. I'm the SQL DB. I don't call this as a Azure model. IAS model, I don't call it as a IAS model because it is exactly same as on-premise. So whatever roles and responsibilities are there in on-premise, the same roles and responsibilities you have to take care. You have to take the backup. Okay, so everything is same here in IAS model. So guys, in Azure, so depend on the application properties, depend on the application requirements, you can choose this models. Again, guys, suppose any clients, any manager ask you, so just explore on the Azure. Okay, so first what you need to look is single database model. Okay, here you can save a lot of money. Okay, so earlier I used to work on managed instance and IAS model. Right now we are working on single database model because it saves a lot of money. Even in within single database model also you can save a lot of places, a lot of options are there. Again to save the money and you know. So let me create one database so that you can understand easily. Okay, it would take some time, guys, to understand all these things. It would take some time. Yeah. So till now I discussed only IAS model and pass model, right? So a lot of people have the doubt. What is software as a service? Okay. So we don't discuss anything about software as a service, guys, because this is completely maintained by the Azure. So we do not have any roles and responsibilities over here. Even you cannot see this software as a service. See here diagram, managed by the vendor. That means everything managed by the Microsoft itself. For example, Microsoft Teams, Skype, Office 365. These are the applications that those will be hosted on the software as a service. Okay, you don't maintain any databases for those. If you want to use this one, you just need to use your email ID and password. You can configure and you can use it. Okay, for DBS, we only work on infrastructure as a model and platform as a service. Never, nobody will work on the software as a service. It is maintained completely by the vendor. Okay, yeah. So, so we are discussing about in this first class we are discussing about the under the platform as a service. We are discussing the single database model. Okay, what is single database model? We are discussing. So yeah, this is the portal, guys. Portal.azure.com. This is the portal. So if you have a credit card, so they will give you 1 month free. Okay, 1 month free access they will give. So yeah, 1 month is more enough to practice all these things. 1 month is more enough. Okay, yeah. So how to create a SQL database? I will show you. So click on here, okay, or you can click on here also SQL database, or you can search over here. Okay, there are a lot of alternatives are there, but all are same, So click on SQL database. So I'm creating a SQL database, single database model, guys. Okay, create SQL database. You can note down, guys. You can note down whatever the doubts and all. You can note it down in the notepad. Okay, so that I can answer at the end. Okay, yeah. So now first we need to create a resource group. So what is resource group is nothing but, so resource group is the name itself, right? Resource group, group of resources. Resource group is nothing but group of resources. Then again, what is resource? Resource is nothing but whatever are there inside the this portal. You know, so SQL server is a one resource. Database, it's a one resource. Storage, one resource. If we combine all this together, we can call it as a resource group. Okay, so let us understand more. You know, what is resource group under? So for SQL server related, you know, so generally we will have the dev environment, right? Dev environment and a QA environment, okay, UAT environment and prod environment. So for each environment related, I will create a resource group. Okay, dev related, I will create one resource group. QA related, I will create a resource group. Tomorrow, if I don't want to develop into environment, then I can delete the resource group. If I delete the resource group means inside the resource group, what it contains, all the resources. If I delete the resource group, everything will be deleted. You don't need to delete one by one. Okay. So you will understand more in the future. Okay. What is resource group and all, you will understand. It would take some time. So for now, what is resource group is just assume it as a one environment. Okay. Resource group, how you can assume as a just environment. Okay, so dev environment. So I'm building dev environment right now. Yeah, click on create new. See, dev. So this is a logical name, guys. Okay, this is a logical name. Yeah, yes, this is the dev resource group. Under this resource group dev, I can keep anything, SQL server, databases, okay, other things also I can mention. If I want delete, I can delete this one. So now keep the database name, DBA. So normally, guys, first in on-premise, we will create the SQL server. After that, database we can create. Right? Here you can directly create a database along with the server. Okay. Yeah, you can also create first server, but normally we follow here database with along with SQL server. So SQL server here is just a logical name. Okay, it won't physically exist. It's just a logical name. It contains the group of databases. Okay, so this is the SQL server name, guys. This is the SQL server name. If you click on create new, it will come over here. So I am building dev server, right? You can give dev server. So this dev server is already in use because this is a Azure, right? So in the world, maybe other people are using the same server name. So you need to give the different name. Let me give you 17291. So this is Ramanujan number, guys. I use it to, if I want to give unique number, I use it to follow like this. Yeah. So next, server admin, right? So normally in on-premise while installing, we use it to create SCA, right? The same way also you can give SCA. But SCA is very short name. So it won't take here. So normally everybody will give SCA admin. Okay. You can give SCA admin also, or if you want to give different name also, that's fine. But normally everybody will give the SCA admin. Even Microsoft also, if you raise any tickets with them also, they will ask you, do you have the SCA admin password? Okay, so everybody will give the SCA admin. Like in on-premise, we use only SCA, right? Even if you want to rename SCA to different also, you can rename, but we won't rename it. We will keep as it is SCA. So here also you can keep SCA admin and password, whatever you. So I am giving Azure @123. Yeah. So here location, guys. Location also important. Okay. So here in Azure, suppose my project is in Europe. Okay, my project is in London, so that I need to choose the nearby London location. Okay, there are a lot of data centers are there. You need to choose that data center. Okay, why you need to choose that data center is because all my clients are in London. So if you choose the near data center, it would be more faster. It would be more faster, no network congestion and all. You know. So according to your project, you need to choose the location. Okay, yeah, location also important, guys. Yeah, that's it. So elastic pool. Okay, we will discuss about these things. You know, if I click RES, that will become a second model of the pass model. Okay, so we will discuss this one later. And next, compute plus storage. If I click here, so my database. Okay, so my database, how much size and how many CPUs, how much memory I want to give. So that and all decide by this configure. Okay. For now, I am giving the 5 DTUs. 5 DTUs, again, the new topic, right? We don't know what is DTU. Okay. So in Azure, guys, here in Azure, we have two models. Okay. One is DTU model, hardware side I am talking. Okay. In this, two models we have. One is DTU model, one is vCore model. Okay. vCore model we know. Okay. 2 CPUs, 3 CPUs, 4 CPUs, 8 CPUs, 16 CPUs. We know that. Okay. That is not a new thing. But here in what is DTU model is, DTU is nothing but data transaction unit. DTU is a small portion of the CPU, small portion of the memory, small portion of the IO. Okay. So DTU is also a CPU. DTU is also a memory. But DTU is a combination. Okay. Blended CPU, memory plus IO. DTU is nothing but DTU equal to the memory plus CPU plus IO. Okay. So right now I am giving, guys, right now I am giving 5 DTUs. 5 DTUs nothing but it's not like 5 GB memory. It's not like that. 5 CPUs. No, it's not like that. Just 5 DTUs. Okay. You are giving 5 DTUs. DTU is nothing but a small portion of memory, CPU, and IO. So 5 DTUs I am giving. So monthly cost is 330 rupees. See, monthly cost. Even I can maintain our my own database I can maintain. That much cheap. Yeah. So how many DTUs you need to give and all we will discuss. Okay. We have separate topics, guys. What is DTU model? Huh? What is see DTU model, vCore model differences? We'll talk more about these things. Don't worry. So right now I am giving 5 DTUs, guys. Click on apply. Review and create. So I am creating a database, guys. It would take some time. Okay, whatever you are creating, it will show over here. Okay, it will show over here. It's just like a events. Okay, so whoever, whatever they done in this portal, it will show everything over here. Okay, so and so DBA, junior DBA has done something. Okay, I can check what he has done and all over here. Okay, so this deployment is underway, guys. So here I am creating resource group, SQL server name, and database name. Okay, it would take little time. Let's wait. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. Okay. Yeah. So most of the people has joined in middle, guys. So let me tell about myself. Okay. So I'm Rasek Reddy Bulla, guys. So I'm having total 10 years of experience into the into the SQL DBA development, performance tuning, and Azure SQL DBA. Okay, so I'm good at so migrations, automation, performance tuning. So I have a very good track record on those things. So yeah. So I worked on I worked on TCS, I worked on ADP, I worked on Compagine, and right now I'm working for SCL. Okay. So right now I am working on a SCL on the Azure Pass mode. So this is about about myself, guys. So yeah, recently I wrote this book. In this COVID time, I utilized the time to write this book. So this book contains the total 101 interview questions and answers. In Azure, I have total 4 years of experience. Entire my 4 years experience I put into this book, guys. Okay, almost 4 months. No Saturday, Sundays, guys, for me. A lot of effort I put into this one. Okay, it would be it would be very helpful for you guys, for to crack the interviews and all. Even in the last week, I got one offer, 27.5 lakhs. Okay, 27.5 lakhs. I received this offer letter. Okay, so with effective from yeah, so 5/10/2020. You know, so yeah, we have very good openings. A lot of openings expected in the future, guys. So within 2 years, a lot of companies projects will be moved to the Azure. Okay, so if they move to the Azure, they can save a lot of money and all. So this is about myself, guys. Yeah, you can follow me either LinkedIn and Facebook. So even in the future also, if you have any doubts and all, you can ping me in WhatsApp. I will try to answer in the WhatsApp. Yeah. So our deployment is done. That means it's ready to use the database. Okay. So go home again. Okay. So SQL database, click on, see here, DBA database. It's ready. Then you can use this server, and so let me connect to this database. This server. Yeah. So guys, this is the server name, right? So people use it to copy like this, Don't copy like this. Okay, just copy over here. Just copy over here and go here, connect to management. So first time you will get an error because I will tell you. So AC admin, Azure, first time you will get an error, guys. So why you will get this is error, okay? It's not a error, just warning kind of. So see what it is saying. Your client IP address doesn't have a access to this server. That means my IP address, my Windows IP doesn't have a access to this server. That means this is like a firewall rule, like in Windows also, right? So your IP, it's not under that network. You cannot able to connect. The same way here also, your IP address must need to be registered. Okay, this is additional security. Even though if you have a username password also, you cannot able to connect. Your IP address need to register. Okay, this is additional security, guys. Okay, so let's go to the portal again. So this is the portal, guys. This is a set server firewall. Click on over here. Just add the IP address over here. Okay, so this is my IP address, guys. Okay, it will already scan. This is the my IP address. Add client IP. Okay, just save it. Suppose, okay, there is another guy. Suppose, okay, Hari is there. Hari wants to connect to this database. Then his IP address I need to add over here. His IP address I need to add over. Suppose, okay, there are 24 people are there. 24 people need to connect this database. In that case, okay, 24 people I cannot add, right? Suppose it is 1,000 or 2,000. 2,000 employees are there in one company. 2,000 people want to connect this database. I cannot add all the 2,000 IP addresses. In that case, what you can do, just you can give the range, start IP, end IP. Okay, start IP 00 something. Okay, 1 to 100. So within 1 to 100, there are 99, right? These 99 people can able to connect. Like this, you can also add the range. Okay, we'll understand about in detail. Okay, so how to add and all we will understand in the future. Don't worry. So I just add my IP address, guys. Now I can able to connect. Yeah. See, firewall rule is very easy here, but in Windows firewall, it's confused, right? We guys So we do not have that much knowledge on the Windows side and all. It's very tough to even to troubleshoot the issues related to firewall and all. But here it's very easy. Yeah, I just added my IP address, guys. Then I can able to connect. Click on connect. See, within 2 minutes, the database is ready. You can do whatever work you want to do. You can create the database. You can create the tables, stored procedures, functions, everything. Okay. So how they will create the stored procedures and all is using using Management Studio. Okay. So we do not have a option over here. Okay. To create the tables and all. What you need to do is through Management Studio only you need to do remaining things. Okay. Create the tables and all. So I just connected a master database, right? Let's connect to the, let's connect to the Azure database. So you can create a table, okay? Create table, employee, something like A integer. So like this, you can create the table. You can create the function, store process, anything. I created a table, okay? If I want to insert the data, same thing you can insert. Insert into employee, select one, union, select two. So like this, you can insert. So now select star from employee. So you can see the data like this, just showing, so how developers will work and all, just showing. See, so this is the data, right, in the DBA database. Let's go to the master database. Okay, open the new query. So this is the employee table, right, which is in DBA database. Okay, let's go to the master database. Not only master, you can go to any other database. Okay, right now we have only two databases, right here, master and DBA. So this is in DBA database, right? DBA database, this is. So if I run this in on-premise, we will get the data. But here, we cannot get the data. What I told you, cross queries are not possible. Okay, cross queries are not possible. Suppose if you have 2-3 databases, you cannot retrieve the data of other database to these databases. One database to another database, you cannot retrieve the data. That is what I want to say over here. So is not supported in this version of SQL Server. Okay, cross queries are not work over here. And coming to, so in this single database model, guys, okay, see, let me expand the system database. I have only the master database. I do not have model database. I do not have TempDB. Okay, internally it would have,
Hello,
okay, but you cannot see those
Raj.
databases.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you briefly explain what is cross queries? Just
Yeah. So cross queries means, yeah. So, yeah. So there is a table, right? Address table. I'm in on-premise. Okay. I'm in on-premise server. Okay. I'm in on-premise server. So I have a table. I have a table in AdventureWorks database, right? If I run the data, if I run the query, I'm getting the data, right? I'm running the query in master database. Still, I'm getting the data of AdventureWorks database data, right? So, yeah, what I'm saying here, guys, let me open the paint. Suppose I have a server, okay? I have a databases. Let's suppose your stored procedure contains a joining of two databases tables. Joining of two database tables. Okay, your stored procedure. In this case, your stored procedure won't work in this single database model. Okay, you cannot retrieve the data of one database data to other databases. You cannot retrieve. It is not possible in this model. Okay, if you want to make it possible, these two databases make it to one database, and you can connect the application. So this way it would work. Cross queries are not work over here. Okay, so in in on-premise, one server data can you retrieve in another server? No, right? Without linked server, you cannot retrieve by default. The same way over here. Got you? Hello? Hello, are you there?
Yes, yes, got it. Got it,
Okay.
Raj.
So cross queries means like this. Suppose, there is a query, select star from table A. Okay. Table A, join of other database. Okay. Other db dot dbo dot table name, table B. Okay. So this kind of queries won't work over here. If it is same tables, same databases, then it would work. So this query won't work. This query, it won't work. So if the table is same database, then it would work. These queries will work. These queries won't work over here in single database model. So in that case, if you have a cross queries and all, you cannot make all the databases into one database. It is not possible, or it is impossible. Then go for a different model. Okay. So I don't like vanilla ice cream. Okay. I will go for chocolate, like that. So cross queries won't work here, right? Then you need to go for managed instance. Managed instance, cross queries will work 100%. Okay. How on-premise it would work over here also. But there are some limitations. Limitations is nothing but you cannot do RDP. See, did I do any RDP, guys, here? I just connected the server, right? There is no Windows server. Just server name and database. If you want to connect, you can use the server name. That's it. So like this, we have different uh, limitations. Okay, depend on. Don't worry, guys. Okay, so entire course content I am telling in one class. Okay, it would take some time to understand. Okay, at the end, you need to tell us whether you understood or not. Okay, definitely you would understand all these things, guys. Okay, the same way only I will explain on each topic. I will give lot of time. Don't worry, you would understand. Okay, don't worry on that part. So yeah,
So, what would be the maximum database size in the single database model?
you can. So yes, you can keep even 100 terabytes also.
Okay.
Okay, even you can keep 100 terabytes also. So we have models, right? D2 model, vCore model. So in the vCore model, hyper model, you can keep 100 terabytes also.
Okay.
Sir, I have one question.
Let me explain this one. Okay, let me finish so that you can ask the doubts at the end. So a lot of people have a lot of doubts, right? So let me explain. Let me finish those things so that most of the doubts will be clarified. So here, guys, yeah, you can only see master database. It would contain other databases also, but you cannot see them. Okay. So yeah, if you want to give the roles and create user login, other roles you can give. Okay, like the same, So right now we are seeing only master database and other user database. If you want to create another database, guys, you can create. Okay. If you want to create other databases, you can even you can use that portal, or you can create like this. Create database database DB2. So you can create other databases. So it would create this database over here. Okay. Yeah, it would take some time. It will create. So like this, whatever queries if you want to run, you can run over here. But the thing is, cross queries won't work here. To make it cross queries and all, I will tell you. There are lot of other options are there. I will tell you. Don't worry. Okay. So, so a lot of people have a doubt, right? Without TempoDB, without ModelDB, how this database, this server is working. So if you want to see, I will show you some shortcuts, guys. Okay. So go to new query, dbcc. There is one command, right? SQL perf log space. SQL perf. See, so you are not seeing other databases, but you can see, by running these queries. TempoDB, ModelDB, MSDB. Okay, there are other databases as well, but you do not have full control. Okay, only master database you can see. Even you cannot create your tables and all in this master database. Okay, but you create a user and login and all, it would be, you can create in this master database. Okay, but other user related, other business related objects and all, you cannot create over in master database. Yeah. Even, one second, please. 1 second. So even application also it would work, right? Application require what? Application required server name and database name and login to connect to the database. Yes, you can connect the application. Lot of lot of applications are working in single database model. Even my databases are terabyte databases. We are also running in single database model. I can save a lot of money. So I can achieve, my database performance is not good now. Then that's okay. You can increase the count. You can increase the D2 count. Okay. So right now my database in basic tier, right? Basic D2 model. You can increase. So like this, we have a flexibility. Right now my database performance is not good. So how you gonna tell the performance is good or not? So we have a graph, we have a graph. So don't worry, guys. I will explain your doubts and all, Don't worry. Yeah. So my DBA database is there. I gave 5 DTUs. So these 5 DTUs are not sufficient. Then how you gonna say 5 DTUs are not sufficient? By seeing the graph, So yeah. So you can see every database graph like this, in the UI. See, this is the graph. I just created a database, guys. See, this is the graph. If I run more queries, more inserts and all, then this spike will go to the 80-90% like that. So you can see the performance. My database is in good performance and all by seeing the graph itself. Even you don't need to buy third-party tools to monitor the performance. Okay. So just for 300 rupees, they are providing even graphs also. Okay. Even they are providing performance related also. Long running queries, missing indexes, unused indexes also they are providing just for 300 rupees. So my database is always 80-90% usage. Okay, this graph. Then that's okay, no problem. You can increase the D2 count. I'm in basic, right? Click on basic. See, in this basic model, so you can keep up to only 2 GB. So if I go to the standard, see, basic standard is nothing but, guys, here in 5 DTUs. Okay, here 10 DTUs, 20 DTUs, 30 DTUs, 50 DTUs. Okay, just increasing. So 2 CPUs, 4 CPUs, 8 CPUs, 16 CPUs, like that, right? We use it to increase the hardware. Like this also, you need to increase, apply, so that automatically these DTUs will be assigned. 10 DTUs, 20 DTUs, 50 DTUs. See, can you see over here? As soon as you are increasing, the cost will be increased, 4,958. So in this, you can keep 250 GB like this, So according to the database size, according to the performance, you can increase and decrease the DTUs. Okay, let me tell you one real-time scenario here. Okay, I implemented personally. So my server, my database, daytime is high utilization, nighttime is very less utilization. Daytime I can keep in high tier. Daytime I can keep in high tier. Nighttime I will keep in low tier. In that way also you can save the money. Like in on-premise, on-premise it's not possible. But let me tell you in on-premise. Suppose my database daytime is very high. Daytime I will keep 16 CPUs. Daytime I will keep 16 CPUs. And nighttime we will keep only on 8 CPUs. Is it possible to keep in on-premise? It's not possible. Every day you cannot do like that. You have to buy the license. I mean, you have to buy the hardware at one time. So here it is possible. Even further also, you can save the money over here in Azure. Okay. There are a lot of benefits are there, guys. That's the reason world is moving to the cloud technologies. Okay. Yeah. So now you can ask the doubts, guys. So yeah. So I implemented this one, right? Yes. I use it to save the document. See, saving the cost by lowering the service time. you can implement in lot of ways. I just implemented through Windows Scheduler. We will have the runbooks, elastic jobs also there. So those are covered in this curriculum. Don't worry, okay? Yeah, don't. It's easy. All these things are very easy. I will explain you in detail. Don't worry. So yeah, this nighttime low utilization, daytime high utilization, right? I just created a 2 jobs, upgrade DB, downgrade DB. Upgrade is nothing but I am giving more DTUs. Downgrade means I am giving less DTUs. Just TSQL query. Just TSQL query. Alter database, modify. Service object to S1, standard style. And I am keeping in basic type. Nighttime I am keeping basic. Daytime I am keeping standard. Even standard to standard also you can keep. S3 to S1, S4 to S1, like that. You know. So yeah, I will explain you in detail. So what is basic, what is standard, what is premium, what is DTU, what is VCore. Okay. So yeah, this is first class. I am trying to explain all these things in one class. Okay. Don't worry, you would understand all those things. Yeah. So this is about, guys. Okay. Yeah. Now ask me the doubts.
Hi Raj, where these tasks are created? Because we connect RDP right in the server.
Where this task is connected.
Created. I mean the scheduler task, where the scheduler task is created.
Correct. Correct. So let me show you. Okay. See here. Okay. Wherever, whichever Windows server you can create. But how I am connecting to the server is, see, I am just giving the username. I mean server name I am providing, and username I am providing, and password I am providing, and script I am keeping here. Okay. Whichever Windows scheduler, if you want, Windows you can keep. You know. Yeah. So we do not have Windows, right? So if you have any other Windows and all, you can schedule over there.
So I don't want to highlight the password. How we can do?
So we have run books, elastic jobs, you know, we have other things are there. So those things, if I show today, you will confuse. That's the reason I just showed you in this model, you know. Yeah.
This is on-prem, right? On-prem also we can connect and run the task.
Yes, on-premise also you can create your, even Express Edition. Express Edition, you don't have SQL agent, right? So how we gonna schedule the jobs? Using Windows Scheduler. Using Windows Scheduler. The same way,
pass model, but pass model we don't have Windows permissions.
You don't require.
Okay.
Okay, you don't require. This is my machine, okay, my laptop. I can also create these jobs. I can connect to the Azure and I can change something. I can also do. I required just a server name and username password, right? To do the change. See, without Windows, how are you gonna able to connect? The same way, the job also, it uses the username and password. I will add that IP address where the job is. That Windows IP I will add. It would work. Just sorry to say like this. Just we don't have much commanding on the Windows Windows scheduler. That's why we are getting these doubts. Don't worry. Okay, you would understand related to on-premise also. Okay, in on-premise how we schedule the jobs and all, you would understand in these Azure classes.
Raj, can we use PowerShell also for this?
Yes.
Scheduling.
Yes. To scheduling these things, we will use the runbooks, guys. Okay. We will use runbooks. Within runbooks is nothing but inside PowerShell script. So, so we have automation, right? So we can automate using, sorry. So you can automate using this way. Windows Scheduler or on-premise SQL agent, runbooks, elastic jobs. In this runbook model, yeah, we will use PowerShell or Python. Okay, don't worry. So PowerShell means I need to learn the PowerShell. No, not required. Okay, PowerShell again the OCL. Okay, so if you want to use runbooks, you need to at least you should understand the basic things. Okay, PowerShell. Suppose if you find any script, you should be ready to modify. You should be ready to customize according to your requirement. Okay. Yes. So that's okay. If you don't have PowerShell script knowledge also, you can go for elastic jobs. In this elastic jobs also, you can automate anything. You can automate anything. And this Elastic jobs contain TSQL scripting, just TSQL scripting. To create the job means SP underscore add job, create job. To delete the job, SP underscore delete the job. To modify, to alter, SP underscore alter job. Like that, you need to use simple SPs. Okay. So those things we will learn on the Elastic jobs. Yeah.
And you said it will be always highest version in task model, right? But we got 14 version here when you created a database.
14 version means I didn't get you.
2014 version.
No, it's not like here. Yeah, that is what. See, if I run like this, select at the rate version. Where you are seeing 14? I'm not.
It's 12.0, right? So.
Oh. I'm poor at it. I'm poor at spellings. So select C at the rate version, right? Let me keep in result to text. See, it's not 2012, it's not 2014. It's it maintain its own version. Okay, Microsoft Azure. It maintain its own version, guys. So today 12.0 2000. Okay, tomorrow 13 point. Tomorrow 12.1.2000. Like that, you know. They will upgrade. Okay, Azure team itself they will upgrade, but you don't see any downtime and all. Okay,
Okay, so
would
is it
install.
a 19 version and 2019 version? What we are seeing as
More
12.0?
than
Okay.
2019 here. Okay, more than 2000. So tomorrow, if any added, you know, that would be along with the Azure. It's not like on-premise. Even on-premise versions are different. Here the versions are different. Okay, separate track. We should not compare even. But you can change the compatibility and all. But version always follows the latest. Latest means 2000. Like it's not like that. Its version is different. That version is different.
Yeah, got it. Because on-premise we see 12 means that is 14, right? Because you connected to on-premise 13 means 2016 you're using in on-premise, so that's what I confused. Yeah, thank you for the explanation.
Yeah.
Raj, we scale out or scale down the resources into the Azure. It will be like an online operation. It will be the offline operation, like
Online
during this
operation.
process. So you mean to say while upgrading to the DTUs, there won't be any impact onto the database?
Yes. Any impact means, yeah. Let me explain you. Suppose you are upgrading, you are scaling up. You know, scaling up it will take just support just 10 minutes. It would take scaling up. It will take 10 minutes. Okay. So in on-premise we have a downtime and all. So if you are detached and attach, right? But here scaling up, you know, it won't take downtime. But this not 10 minutes downtime you don't require. You know. So while a fraction of seconds, it will disconnect and it connects again.
Okay, that means connections will be drop and reconnect. That during that period, the application will be down, right?
Yes. Down means a fraction of second. You know, whatever fail, you know, that again reconnects again. So it looks for connecting, right? Retry.
Mm-hmm.
So that is small. It disconnects and connects again immediately.
Okay.
Inside, what will happen is
if it is one transaction is running while I am doing to the upgrade, the transaction going to the file, right? How will come it will be the reconnect automatically?
Correct. So if you are doing ad hoc related queries, yes, those transactions will be stopped.
Correct. So we need to make sure we need to do the business hours or other times to the upgrade the things. Right?
Yes.
Not in the business hours then.
Correct.
So yeah,
normally when we do scaling up, scaling down, normally in the non-peak hours only, right?
Correct. So another thing you mentioned, like the version changes, the patches are applied. It is in like we won't feel to the downtime. How the Microsoft is managed to upgrade their SQL boxes?
Even
without impact to us.
You cannot see any downtime, no downtime related to patches and all. So we call it as a hard patches. Okay. So we call it as a hard patches, they use it to do, they follow their own algorithms and all. Nowhere those things mentioned, you know. So the database maintain its highest version. That's it. Everything they will take care at the back end, you know. They
That's
are,
true. The backend, Microsoft is going to the taken care, but while patches is applied to the particular instance of the database, that should be during that time the database inaccessible, right?
no.
Then how
It
the
would be
Microsoft is
accessible.
managing to
It
make
would
the
be
access of the database?
it would be accessible. It would be accessible. They have their own algorithms, you know, to do like that without downtime and all. So yeah,
No, no.
like, you
I
know,
mean to say,
rebuild
in the
index.
general theory, in the general practice, applying the patches means we hold the transaction in the particular database. We are applying to the patches,
That is
irrespective
on-premise.
of it is in either on-premises or in the Azure. The flow will be remain same, even they are using their own algorithm. So on-premises, we take the downtime. In case of the Azure, I'm confusing like how this Microsoft is managing without downtime with their own algorithms.
So yeah, so yeah, so here hard patches is nothing but, you know, just a fraction of seconds they will take, you know, fraction of seconds they will take, and even they won't disconnect all the connections and all. There is a fraction of seconds downtime, but those transactions won't be disconnected.
Oh, you mean to say
See,
there is
alga
downtime as well, right?
yes, Google did any time down. Always they are
Yes, that's the
upgrading, right?
reason how they are managing without the downtime for the patches.
Those are, you know, strategies, right? They won't expose those things how they are doing and all.
That's why
If
they are
they
claiming
expose,
99%, 99% available.
correct.
That's true. How they are achieving. So, no, actually, I read one article says that as per my understanding, soon after we create the one database, the three replica of database will exist in the same data center. In the different racks set up of in the data center. So if they going to the apply to the patch, it won't the one database they're going to the apply the patch, it another one in the live. So your application is automatically related to the new databases. That's the reason I felt we
No,
don't feel
don't
the
compare with on-premise. Don't
no.
compare
I'm
with
not thinking
on-premise.
about the on-premises. I'm representing to the Azure only.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, in on-premise, everything you have to control. So you have to take the downtime. But here, no need to take the downtime. They will do, you know, DML. I mean, inside, they will apply. They will apply by maintaining parallelly. You know, they follow their own strategy. They follow their own algorithms. Even how Google, Facebook, they are following. You know, without downtime and all. How they are upgrading. The same way here also. You know, yeah. So they cannot reveal how they are doing and all. Nowhere they won't mention these things. You know, other competitors will follow, right? Yeah. So any other questions, guys, related to these things? We will discuss in detail, okay, one by one, how hard patches and all, so happening and all, you know, those things we will discuss in detail one by one.
Can you go through the agenda, the topics?
So I will provide this agenda, guys. Okay. So let's, this time is for, you know, just ask the questions and all. I will provide the agenda and all. This agenda contains all this. So where this agenda? Yeah. Infrastructure as a model, PaaS model, elastic databases, no? So difference between infrastructure as a model, PaaS model. Hmm? So PaaS model is nothing but again three models, right? Again three models. What are the differences? No. So migration. How we gonna migrate? What are the ways are there? So we will have the migration assistant tool, migration service, backpack migration, transaction replication. Also we will use manual migration. Also we can use even 8 terabytes database. Also if you want to migrate. Even people will follow different ways, you know, even log shipping also you can follow as a migration, you know. Suppose if you want to on-premise to infrastructure as a model, if you want to migrate, you can migrate using log shipping, you know. So that high availability disaster recovery also we can use. Even in Azure also we have the high availability disaster recovery options, geo replication, availability groups, and data sync option we have. Okay, those things we will discuss. Whatever on-premise is there, right? the same things, I will compare and I will explain.
So like high availability and DR, you are showing it practical.
Yes.
Okay, like mirroring, replication, and everything.
Mirroring replication, it's on-premise, right? Those are not available here, not possible over here. No SQL agent and all. See, yeah, automation. If I come to automation, like on-premise, like this we have, right? In Azure, like we have. This is one run book, Elastic jobs again different. So like this, I use it to compare always, and I need to explain so that you guys can catch very easily. Yeah. So this about guys. So tomorrow, let's connect again at the same time. Tomorrow let's connect again at the same time. Let me stop the recording.